You had your instructions in the dressing room. And I'll remind you of now. This is very important. When I tell you stop, what that means is stop whatever you're doing, give me a clean break. Protect yourself at all times, obey my commands all time. Both of you gentlemen are world-class, championship caliber professionals. I expect you to act that way. Mr. Pacquiao, Mr. Bradley, let's do this.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Robert Byrd, referee. Let's do this. Round one. Manny Pacquiao in his 60th professional fight, unbeaten since 2005. And it's funny, Mario, he is still the smaller man in the ring. And yet we've seen with De La Hoya, Margarito, Cotto, we're so used to seeing him look physically unimposing that in this looks like a fair fight. And we're underway.
He's still, to me, looks significantly smaller. He has put together Bradley. And if this was a bodybuilding competition, then it's one thing. But man, he lives extra lean and very strict on his diet.
He has always worked hard his entire life. Look, genetically, he's gifted as we're out to a fast pace. Pacquiao lunging forward. Already doubling up on the jab is Bradley. This is a quick pace right out of the gate.
It is. Maybe he feels he needs to warm up a little bit. I mean, I was really concerned about, and I see a Band-Aid under Pacquiao's right elbow. I don't know what that's about. But if you notice, there's a Band-Aid there.
You know, I saw that at the weigh-in, too. Straight right hand lands from Bradley. I noticed that at the weigh-in. I figured that'd just be gone as he got back into the ring. Already, we've seen a quick pace here, and Bradley having some effectiveness. Oh, good shot. Pacquiao had a shot on the way in. He is going to have to earn his way in against Bradley. We can see that already.
And already I can see that Timothy Bradley's not being the aggressor. He is choosing to be a little bit more of the counterpuncher, allowing Pacquiao to be more of the aggressor.
I tell you what, though, you can tell he has done his homework. He is throwing out a double jab every time he wants to get near him.
And he's looking for that counter right hand, which obviously works very well against southpaws.
Crowd is into it already. In the opening minute and a half of round number one, as we see crisp action from the get-go. No feeling out here. They're feeling out at high speeds.
And if you're looking for one of these fighters to wear out, they're both Energizer bunnies. These guys are not going to slow down anytime soon.
Historically great in that regard. Correct. You're absolutely right, Mario.
You know, I'm really surprised at how composed Bradley looks, how he's changed his style to become more of a counterpuncher.
Pacquiao tries straight up the middle. Those punches blocked. You're right. He is definitely composed. Bradley is composed in the pocket already, shooting out jabs, balanced, and looking for the attack points.
Because you know Bradley, based on his history, is a fighter that likes to put pressure, is a fighter who's relentless, who swarms.
Good body shots, and those are scoring blows, by the way, for Bradley. Another shot down low. I say low, I don't mean illegally low, down to the body.
Bradley doing a great job this first round.
Said before the fight, Pacquiao is a superstar. Bradley's just a world champion boxer. But nothing else matters. All that other nonsense goes out the window when everyone clears out of the ring. Good counter right by Bradley. He is really making his mark in the first round, establishing himself with authority.
And let's keep in mind, Pacquiao, much like Randall Bailey in the fight prior, has that one punch equalizer that can change the fight.
There it is. He just threw it, the left hand. That is one of the best weapons in the sport. The straight left hand from Pacquiao. Now he goes to work.
Pacquiao measuring him and getting to time it a little bit more, and now he's starting to warm up, Brian.
Firing again, but that one was flipped by Bradley. Outstanding first round.
Freddie Roach not saying much. Joel Diaz intense, asking him to step back and strictly asking him to counter every time Pacquiao goes aggressive. Take back and counterpunch and let go of that right hand. He'll walk into something.
Round number two here, the main event. Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley, and Timothy Bradley, the junior welterweight champion of the world, extremely impressive in the first round because this is a super fight. This is a big moment. And normally you'll see some apprehension, some feeling out, some rough work as he catches a straight left hand from Pacquiao. But he went right past that and got right into a good boxing match.
And I think Bradley has the exact, and that's exactly the hook that I thought Pacquiao is going to catch him with, much like Kendall Hope. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Brian, that now the swarming and the rapid punches that Bradley's doing, once you get hit, you are who you are. And essentially, whatever you're made of comes out.
And Robert Byrd, look, I think some of those shots weren't legal.
I agree.
But Robert Byrd, I like the general sensibility he has in fight out of that. Don't look to me. Fight out of that, fellas. And I tell you what, Bradley showed he's got the Bushido. He's got the fighting spirit in that, hey, if I'm close to you, I'm going to try to harm you.
Well, that's the Bradley we're used to seeing. That's the Bradley who came out once he got hit and he felt a little of that power.
Showing no respect for Pacquiao as Bradley steps in and ups the work rate. Yet, he has been caught now and then by something electric by Pacquiao. Anything can happen here.
Yes, and I firmly believe Pacquiao's right hook is going to be the secret weapon tonight.
It just landed too, Mario. You're spot on. That right hook just lands off the side of the head of Bradley, but he was not hurt. Felt it, though. It's a scoring shot.
Took Pacquiao about 2 rounds to sort of warm up and get into the groove of things. But Bradley's doing a good job of sticking to his game plan, still counter-punching, which, by the way, I think is his best plan of attack.
What an answer by Timothy Bradley. As he gets backed up, Bradley then just bulldozed Pacquiao with good, clean punches back to the ropes. I haven't seen that in a long time.
He's fighting a very, very smart fight.
I don't know if I've seen it ever, actually. I've
right.
seen big guys bulldoze him. I've seen De La Hoya jab at him, and I've never seen him go back by a guy throwing strong combinations.
He's a bulldog in there. He's smaller. He's able to get into these punches. Smaller meaning in height.
But he looks smooth, too, right now. He's throwing out a smooth jab.
He is, and he's taking steps back. I'm telling you, the blueprint has been set on how to make Pacquiao's life complicated in the ring, and that's Juan Manuel Marquez. And that's the page they're turning to now.
Manny Pacquiao going in, wants to hit him with his money shot. Look, Manny Pacquiao has become a superstar by being willing to wade through the fire of Miguel Cotto, of Antonio Margarito. Here, though, he's facing a very different buzzsaw. Not a bigger, slower man. A man who's his size, who seems to be just as strong and just as fluid offensively.
A high-volume output is what Timothy Bradley has. A high-volume output. If he's able to stand and trade with him, then it will get interesting.
Pacquiao, a little frustration there at the end as he ate a jab, a clean shot, and then tried to answer after the bell. Joel Diaz in the corner says, you're controlling the fight. Other words coming in through saying, don't get careless. Wow, a good body shot there by Bradley, acknowledged by Pacquiao. Very different challenge here. Even though with the historic run of Manny Pacquiao, he's facing something very different here. Again, a champ in his prime who is fluid, relaxed, and has a better offensive arsenal than I've seen before.
And has a great strategy that he seems to be implying. This is the blueprint to make his life tough inside the ring. And he's gotten caught with some leather, and he's being disciplined and sticking with the game plan.
There have been 2 occasions as Bradley measures Pacquiao, moves in right away. He's being aggressive. There's been twice as he catches him with a hook where he has been hit with something flush by Pacquiao, and he has not been wobbled. You've got to be sturdy to be able to take any type of shot from Pacquiao.
Well, he's in tremendous shape, and he's shown some good whiskers in the past, Timothy Bradley.
That was a good uppercut there by Pacquiao, and Bradley, if he's been guilty of something in the past that has been a weakness, he does lean a bit forward. He can get caught by that.
That was the one thing I was concerned and I would hope would not come up, and hope he didn't jinx it, but headbutts are pretty common in Timothy Bradley fights.
So far, though, what we've seen, and a jab and a quick left hand there by Pacquiao lands. So he's getting closer. A good head movement by Bradley there allows him to get out of harm's way.
And you know, Pacquiao not throwing as many combinations or working the body as much as he's used to. Going a lot of head hunting. I don't know if he's got something to prove. Beautiful combination from Pacquiao.
Bradley fires right back. Good, and those are 3-punch combinations he's throwing. And he's throwing them hard. Fires right back. We've got a firefight in the 3rd round.
This is an action-packed fight, and Pacquiao is throwing punches with bad intentions.
And that is the difference, too. You're absolutely right, Mauro. And also, there is no, as Teddy Atlas would always say, guy I've worked with for many years, there's no silent contract between the two. When he gets in close, it's not, hey, if you don't hit me, I won't hit you. Bradley is saying, no, it's on. It's
exactly
all on.
Right. I love Teddy Atlas, and you're exactly right, and that's a great reference. A lot of people were questioning whether his newfound faith softened him. I firmly believe faith never softens a man, and he looks hungrier than ever, Pacquiao.
I'll tell you, they're both men of faith. They both have beliefs now in their family. Pacquiao, of course, recently coming to a clean life. I think this is purely an element of what he is facing in the ring as he backs up Bradley now and goes after him. He's facing a man his size for the first time in a long time, but a man who can really fight, and a guy, as you mentioned, has a real game plan, and I've never seen Bradley look smoother off the jab.
You're exactly, this is the best I've ever seen him. In his prime with a great game plan, and seems to be executing it thus far. Couple feints from Pacquiao.
And by the way, living a clean, hard life his whole life.
Yes.
I mean, he has built himself for this moment. biggest moment of his life. Look at the head movement by Bradley. He got caught with something and moved, but he was just off balance.
Impressed by the defense of Timothy Bradley as well.
You could make a case that Timothy Bradley has won all 3 rounds here tonight.
Yes.
I gave the first 2 to Bradley, trying to score it. I know it's not an official score. I'm also calling the fight. But I'm just pointing out what I'm seeing. 3rd round, I think, could have gone either way. That shot might have been low by Bradley. But when you're looking at a Pacquiao fight and you're thinking, hey, it's possible he's down 3-0, that's eye-opening.
Caught it with another right hook right there. I still believe that is going to come into play later on in the fight. Pacquiao not working the body as much, and I'm very surprised that he is not sticking to usually what appears to be his game plan, which is to break down the body and to be a little bit more of a counterpuncher as opposed to the aggressor.
Good body shot there by Bradley. Left hook to the body, and Pacquiao starts to get riled up. He is going to have to fight fire with fire here with Bradley.
Oof, there's that right hook.
Both landed on that. Good exchange by both. Pacquiao now digging in with an uppercut. We're seeing a high work rate here every round.
High work rate. Conditioning is going to come into play, and both these guys don't look like they're getting tired anytime soon.
Pacquiao seems to enjoy the combat. So he seems to be enjoying this as he throws a thudding left hand off the head of Bradley.
He's a warrior at heart. And his facial expression, still smiling and enjoying this.
I think he just said to Bradley, keep him up.
He's having fun in there.
He really is. He knows he's in there with something serious. I have to say, if I'm in Pacquiao's camp, I'd be concerned about what's happening in the corner. How many guys are talking to him? Where's Freddie Roach? What's going on?
Bradley's doing a great job defensively of bowing down, of that old sort of James Toney tuck and roll, and not getting hit.
Now, he blocked a lot of those shots, but when you're landing all of those and you're putting them out there, that looks impressive to a judge. And this very well could go to the judges. And it's not as if he's laying back and being technical. I'm talking about Bradley. He's actually firing. He's throwing harmful shots at Pacquiao. So it's if I'm thinking as a judge, like if this goes to the cards, he's impressing the judge. Good body shot there by Pacquiao.
If you notice, though, other than this moment, he's been
Pacquiao landed the left hand. Landed the left hand, and Bradley wobbled a little bit. It didn't look like much at first, but he snapped the head back, and Bradley could be hurt. Another body shot by Pacquiao. Bradley moving his head.
Bradley seeing the overwhelming amount of punches that you cannot prepare for when you fight a Manny Pacquiao. And this is the type of sparring. He is hurt. He is holding on, and he is hurt and taking advantage. And the ref giving him a nice long time to recuperate. Let's see if Manny Pacquiao can take advantage.
That's a good professional move by Bradley. We saw that recently with
nice body shot
against Shane Mosley. He got hurt, he held on. Can Bradley hold on?
Nice body shot and a nice left hook by Pacquiao. Oh, a nice right by Bradley.
And it's the shots that you don't see that really hurt you. And it looked like Bradley just got his head moved, and then he spun back. And to see that moment of weakness was alarming.
And Manny Pacquiao smacking the gloves. He's warm now, Brian.
Yeah.
He's warm. I think he knows what he's in for, and he's ready to engage.
Absolutely right. He is boxing's great warrior, and he knows what he's in for tonight. He knows he has a great challenge ahead of him, and he seems to be enjoying it. That doesn't mean it might not be Timothy Bradley's night. That's still unfolding.
You're right, and you know what? Regardless, that's the point. He is a true warrior. Doesn't rest on his laurels. Obviously has all the resources he needs and money that he needs to live very comfortably, but still cares about finishing the show out strong. Still wants to knock out his opponent. Still doesn't do enough to just get by. Wants to please people.
Tell you what, he also has, look, he's engaged in the fight now. He's not thinking of winning rounds.
Right.
But if you take a step back, he has to also start winning rounds. Good jab there by Pacquiao. Because you could easily give the first 3 to Bradley. 4th round you give to Pacquiao after Bradley got hurt. As his feet cross again.
He keeps you spinning, and he comes at so many different angles. It's a really hard thing to prepare for.
As the work rate goes down, I think it goes in favor of Pacquiao, Mario.
Because he's got the faster hands.
And the one shot, right. If there's going to be one shot that ends it, it's going to come from Pacquiao and not Bradley. Can Bradley keep that insane work rate? 2 good shots there that both landed. Those are scoring shots to the face of Manny Pacquiao.
Pacquiao still going head hunting a lot. I'd like to see him go to the body more, and I'm sure Freddie would too.
Flicking out a jab is Bradley. This is the first moment we've had to breathe.
This is the first low. I'm surprised Pacquiao has given him this opportunity after having him hurt in this last round.
And just, I would say, you know, just a tinge of energy drain on Bradley's part. Not tired, not coasting, but just stepping off the accelerator a little bit. It's a murderous pace that they're putting themselves through, both of them. And I see it affecting Bradley slightly even now.
And this is a guy, when you look at him, looks like he could fight 100 rounds in a row.
Oh, uppercut, got to Bradley. No, he's hurt, moves back along the ropes. Pacquiao hurt him.
Pacquiao is landing that left hand now, it seems, with a lot more aggression, a lot more frequency.
As Bradley bends down too, he's going to be vulnerable to some sort of uppercut hook hybrid that Pacquiao can throw. The thudding concussive power comes from Pacquiao here. Bradley moving forward now, lunging forward.
And that does not bode well for a Pacquiao uppercut.
Winging power shots from both fighters. They're going to war. Tremendous fight. We saw Timothy Bradley's wife, Monica, earlier, and she was still looking on with trepidation. She knows what her husband is in for. And wasn't it a different corner for Bradley that time, Mario?
Wow, you just saw the body language with Bradley's head down, asking him to not give up, basically. His father came in, whispered words of encouragement. His trainer shouting to him to not give up, to do it for his family. Not giving exactly instructions, now trying to get to his core. Coming out pumping a pretty hard jab.
Look, all the while, right, you're absolutely right. That was the corner, a decided change in tone from you're controlling this fight to starting to question him, and they could easily be up 3 rounds to 2. Yeah. At worst, down 2 rounds to 3.
Exactly right.
But they know, look, you're in for something very special here. This is not some ordinary human in Manny Pacquiao. And while he looks slightly rusty. He's facing a very different animal this time around. But Bradley's still with his hands full. He has come out now. That's 1 minute of this round where it has been all Bradley. If you're a judge, you cannot forget that 1 minute where the jabs have been coming from Bradley.
And Pacquiao has chosen, and I don't know if it's out of respect for his power or just to time him like that, but he's chosen to fight in spurts.
Bradley has been better when he's been on the attack constantly.
Yeah.
Pacquiao, if he's being attacked, cannot unleash the fury on you. And that's what we saw, I think, in the opening 2 rounds at the very least. Bradley was so busy. He was so sharp, so fluid. Pacquiao was just kind of looking back going, what do I do with this guy?
And if you look at the past few fights, too, whether it was Miguel Cotto or even Margarito, Pacquiao always takes like a round or 2 to kind of get the timing, to kind of get the distance, to really kind of figure it out. And it seems to be the case here, and maybe even took it even a little longer because of the delay and warming up. Not to take anything away from Timothy Bradley, who's been executing a great game.
Well, that's it. Even you mentioned, look, Cotto was a complete fighter coming in, and I thought Cotto came in, was the bigger man, was a good boxer, and Pacquiao had to just wade through the fire to take him out. But Cotto and Margarito both don't have the tight hand speed that Bradley has.
Right, short, tight, compact punches.
Compact.
Very compact punches. And, he's done a really good job, Brian, I think, of his defense with that sort of bob and weave style.
This has been a quieter round now, but this is a round that has also scored and means just as much as the other ones.
And he's catching him a lot with those uppercuts, and he's got him in the corner. Let's see. Oh, that's a beautiful body shot.
2 good shots from Pacquiao. Now Bradley in the corner, and here's where the round could be stolen away from him. Pacquiao is looking for that explosive 15 seconds that could win him the round. It certainly does in the court of public opinion here at the MGM Grand.
Oh, beautiful uppercut. Beautiful. Oh, and that's that elusive bobbing head movement that they clearly worked on in camp, and it's turning out really, really well.
Bradley has slowed down just a bit.
And I think if Pacquiao attacked the body, Brian, at this point, he might stop him.
Mario, who won that round, though? We've seen great action, but that is the classic case of, do you go for the greater punishment in a short spurt, or a full 2 minutes where it was only Bradley doing the work? I don't have an exact answer, but I'm saying you could give that round to Bradley. I'm pointing that out.
No. Yes, of course you could. I personally, the way I look at scoring, I always look at who would I rather be in that round.
Yeah, at the end of that, certainly. You'd rather be Manny Pacquiao as another uppercut lands. We had a member of Bradley's team come crashing down on the side of our table here.
That was his father.
That was his dad?
He was a big guy. He's okay, he just slipped.
There's just a lot of people in the corner, right? And you can see in both corners now. Everyone wants to get into the ear of their man.
And a lot of concern and dangerously close to headbutting right in front of us here.
Bradley turned around quickly, just fought a little orthodox there for a quick exchange. very versatile fighter. There's just I would say there's just a little bit of a wane in the energy of Timothy Bradley. I don't know if he could have kept up that pace. He is famously in great shape. But do you sense just a little weakening in him? That's a bad word, but you know what I'm saying.
No, and I don't think it's due to fatigue. I think it's due to those hard left hands that he caught and a couple of those hard body shots.
And you know what, Mario? He has landed his most effective shots where he hasn't had full impact or leverage. He's just throwing these grazing wild shots.
Yes.
But anytime Pacquiao catches you with those heavy hands of his, he does damage.
Yeah, he's a heavy. He's one of those guys. As you can see him, and you see him up close and personal right now. I know he hadn't called a fight of his before. He's a small guy. He's small by frame, and when you stand next to him, it's just amazing the power that he carries.
He is one of the most physically unimposing champions I've ever seen, and yet he's one of the greatest champions the sport has ever had.
Yes.
Fighting off the ropes now. Pacquiao spinning and throwing a right uppercut. He likes this. Pacquiao likes this.
And this is not the type of exchange that Timothy Bradley wants to get into.
Yeah, he wants it smooth. He wants to stick out the jab. He wants to double up on the jab. By the way, doubling up on the jab has kind of gone away.
It has, and that's what was so effective.
That's a good combination right there. Scored with the body shot.
Oh,
and an
nice
uppercut.
right hand.
Answering with the left hand is Pacquiao. Any of these shots can put someone down.
Pacquiao is brilliant at, if you connect on him, retaliating quickly.
What we don't see right now, and as we get to the final 30 seconds of round 7, Mario, is that frenetic energy that we saw when he was fighting, say, Marco Antonio Barrera. The constant head movement and the dancing and the moving up and down that made him impossible to fight. He is more in front of a man now.
Well, I think that's, again, due to age and the fact that he's in his 30s now. He's been in so many wars, Brian. We were talking about it. I mean, forget the number of fights that he's had. They've been physical wars, and it's bound to take its toll.
We're through 7. Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley. Manny Pacquiao, a 3-time Fighter of the Year. The only other men to have done so, Evander Holyfield, Sugar Ray Leonard, Joe Frazier, and Muhammad Ali. Wow. That's good company.
Excellent company. He deserves to be there.
Right now, through 7, and again, we're scoring it here as we're calling the fight. But I think, depending on how you scored round 6, Mario, I have it 4-3 either way. I could easily have it 4-3 Bradley. Even though it seems like it's becoming Pacquiao's night, you could. I would not question the judge who had it 4-3 Bradley right now.
Conceivably, I agree. However, I think the most important thing right now is the momentum seems to be with Manny Pacquiao as we go down the stretch.
And they asked in the corner for Timothy Bradley, they asked him, can you give me 5 more of these? Because he needs to be at such a high work rate to beat this man.
Yes,
good body shots by Bradley. Now he tries to fire off a double jab, but misses.
Oh.
Coming in with the head, and now Bradley seems hurt. It was Bradley that ducked in, if I'm not mistaken. Now maybe Pacquiao pulled him in. We'll take another look at that if we get a chance. But Bradley, again, against Devin Alexander, seemed to be jumping in with his head the whole night. And good shot there. Right hook again by Pacquiao. Bradley answers back. Look at the knockouts after round 7. Look, Pacquiao's a machine. Bradley is a guy who will box and beat you and physically impose his will. Rarely, though, will he just drop you with a shot. Pacquiao is smiling as he gets off the ropes.
Pacquiao is used to being against the ropes against some strong, big guys. He's had Clottey, Margarito, Cotto all tee off on him sort of against the ropes, so he's very comfortable there.
Right, it must be different for him fighting someone who's basically his size.
I can't remember the last time Pacquiao fought somebody. He's actually taller than him.
Yeah.
A little shorter than him.
Maybe Barrera? Maybe Marco Antonio Barrera?
Those guys, I think, were even still taller, or at least as tall, not shorter.
Morales is his size. I mean, Marquez, excuse me, is his size. Yeah, Eric Morales was his size. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
He had a great...
Eric Morales is taller, though.
Yeah, that's true. If you want to look at the weight, look at the calves, right? They were mentioning before. It's like Prince Nassim Hamed. All the size was in the calves. The punching power can come from there.
Well, that's why he's got to stretch those guys out. It's going to take a second.
A lot of excitement in this fight. Difficult to keep that intensity up through every single round. And they have it here in round 8. It's not a round off, but they just went from, I don't know, 7th to 6th gear. I'm not even talking 5 and 4 anymore. This is at a higher level.
Manny Pacquiao usually likes to close out rounds strong, so let's see.
Bradley trying to move his head, tries to answer as well. A lot of fighters do have trouble with guys who come in with their heads. By the way, both of these guys have large heads.
Yes, they do. That's a really good thing to point out. They have helmets for heads.
I don't have scientific data to back that up. However, just looking at them, Mario, they have large heads.
And I think they'll tell you. They'll tell you.
Round 9, as things start to slow up a little bit. And again, I would say that would favor Manny Pacquiao. Did you agree with that, Mario?
I do agree with that. And he just landed a pretty strong left hand. And Pacquiao's seemed to slow down a little in his work rate.
There's no way you could keep that pace right from the get-go. Both guys came out firing and throwing combinations, murderous combinations. Bradley loses his balance there. You better regain it quickly because Pacquiao did not waste any time pouncing.
Pacquiao has such amazing balance and quick feet.
You're right. You rarely see him out of balance, out of sorts.
You see quick hands often, but it's rare when you see a combination of quick hands and quick feet.
Bradley, you could tell, went to the ropes and thought, I'm okay, I'm far away from him. And then within a millisecond, oh, he's not far away anymore.
He's like Velcro.
Right, most guys you fight will not close you. He's got great closing speed. Oh, beautiful combination.
Uppercuts.
That was a dazzling combination by Manny Pacquiao. And now they start to trade. A lot of time left in this round. Plenty of time to get it on. Beautiful work by Pacquiao.
Oh, and the ref breaking it up right when it gets interesting. Oh, and another beautiful uppercut. Another uppercut. Beautiful left hand by Pacquiao.
Bradley is wading right into the fire. This could be very dangerous.
He's taking chances. He's going for it.
Robert Byrd wanted them both to not, have the clash of heads that we are concerned about. Strafing hook from Bradley as they exchange. Good body shot, and another by Bradley. These are scoring blows. Look, you might go in thinking, hey, Pacquiao should be winning this fight. Bradley doesn't have the same work rate, but I'm not sure if you're actually scoring this fight, who has the lead in this round. That's a scoring shot.
Bradley's been answering really well in this round.
Boy,
Pacquiao's landed some hard shots, but he's been retaliating.
Bradley does not have the same snap on his punches. That one straight up the middle by Pacquiao, and a body shot he follows up. Maybe Pacquiao does wait, as you said. He likes to close out. Maybe he waits for those final 30 seconds. Good digging body shot by Bradley.
That was a beautiful body shot.
Bradley is scoring here. Again, don't look at body language. Look at the body shots.
And that was a nice left hand by Pacquiao. And that right hook just missed.
Bradley seems to be sucking a little wind here, and he's standing a little close to Pacquiao. Now he moves in. You cannot just stand up in front of Manny Pacquiao.
No.
Cannot do it.
If you think you're going to overwhelm him with punches, you got something else coming.
I tell you what, that was quietly a great round.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pro both guys. But I'm trying to point out, that's a scoring shot. That's a scoring shot.
Sure.
Bradley is still scoring in this round. He looks tired. He looks like one shot could drop him, but it hasn't happened yet. And this will be interesting when it goes to the cards, if it goes to the cards. Championship rounds, round 10 now. Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley. What did we hear in the corner that time, Mario? What did you think?
He was asking, still a little pleading with it. There wasn't as much of a sense of frustration in the corner. He actually worked really well and was pleased with his work. He wants him to do a little bit more of the same and continue to go to the body, which he just did.
Footing shots. That's a three-punch combination. Two of them landed by Bradley. Another shot lands. Bradley landing with the hooks.
Bradley, a lot of respect I'm giving him. Hanging in there tough. He looked like he was on the downward spiral, but coming back.
He looks terrific. This is a gutty performance.
Gutty performance, yeah.
He's in top shape, and yet going those rounds at that level of intensity against, a legendary, energetic fighter has taken its toll. It's slowed him down. Countering right hand by Bradley as he moves away. Bradley's face still looks clean.
It does look very clean. He's cutting a lot of clean shots too. He's got a fighter-friendly face, meaning his features. He doesn't have the Eric Morales nose, if you will.
Right.
He's got a nice big head.
You know what? He's been doing the beatdowns. He hasn't been absorbing them all through his career, and it's a long, and decorated career that he's had as an amateur and as a pro. Wow, big right hand, just slapped it on the side of the head. Pacquiao as if to say, yeah, that was good. I'll give you that.
Acknowledging.
Straight up the middle comes Bradley. I have to say, Bradley is throwing so many scoring shots. You're scoring this fight. I'll go back to it. He's winning this round.
Yeah, this round, 2 minutes in, and it's a Bradley round so far.
Just good, solid boxing work, right? Throwing double jabs up the middle, throwing winging hard shots. He keeps moving away from Pacquiao in his power left hand.
This is world-class fighting right here. These two guys, world-class athletes. One's in his prime, and one we were about to find out if he still is in his prime. And you know, maybe a little's been gone. A couple miles of left of curveball, the fastball, I should say, but it's still enough to take on the best in the world.
We just saw Floyd Mayweather fight Miguel Cotto and fight straight in front of him. Suddenly he's not on his toes dancing anymore. That happens when you reach your mid-30s.
And the irony, it makes for much more entertaining fights.
Yep. When you slow down, suddenly it gets exciting. Final 15 seconds here of round 10. Take a look sometime if you want. I know, Mario, you will. At De La Hoya Mosley 1, De La Hoya Mosley 2. The dancing went away for round 2. Fast hands. The hands are just as fast in the second fight. But the feet were both gone for the second fight as opposed to the first time they met.
Freddie Roach admitting that gave that round away.
He let that round go.
Yeah, he wasn't active in that round enough for him to win that round.
And the basic tenor of the conversation in the corner after round 10 for Timothy Bradley was time to be a warrior. You have 6 minutes left to achieve your lifetime goal and win a mega fight. Not just look great and win respect. He's done that already. But to actually win a mega fight against a great fighter, and that was a good shot.
And Brian, in this close fight, the fate could very well be in these last 6 minutes.
Yep. Look, I could be out of my mind, Mario, and maybe I'm talking myself into it, but I could easily give the last 2 rounds to Bradley. The 10th definitely, maybe even the 9th.
It's not far-fetched at all.
Consistent work by Timothy Bradley, and has kept the explosive champion and #1 fighter in the sport at bay. Just good, solid work, which is exactly what we expected. This is a man strong physically, strong mentally. I'll go back to my good friend Teddy Atlas, who often talks about a fighter who goes in and crumbles, and he says later, they were fractured. There's no fracture. There's no any type of dent in Timothy Bradley.
There was never a question in my mind that I think he would wilt under any sort of psychological pressure or dealing with any sort of adversity. He's a tough guy, raised by a tough man. He had some tough circumstances growing up, you know, and he dealt with the tornado that is Pacquiao early on, and he seems to have made a nice adjustment in counterpunching and letting his jabs go a little bit more, and worked himself back in this fight.
You're absolutely right, because mid-rounds, it looked as though the momentum had indeed shifted, and it was about to become Pacquiao time. That has not happened. Not the way we see it. We could be wrong.
Well, you could tell by the crowd, who is really pro-Pacquiao here, hasn't been as vocal as they've been in the middle rounds.
That's an excellent point. They've been lulled to sleep by a man just with a good, sharp jab and a lifetime of work and dedication. We could be seeing a tremendous upset. Bradley moving away.
And those hooks barely missing. Very important. The most thing I'm impressed by tonight is Bradley's defense. I didn't realize he had that sort of elusive defense for Manny Pacquiao. The bobbing and weaving. He's a cagey guy.
He has only been hit with a few things on the side of his head that has wobbled him. He has never been pummeled. He has never accepted punishment in the corner as he spins out right now. Look at the footwork by Bradley.
Blood coming from Pacquiao's nose or mouth. One, I saw some stream of blood come.
We are in the final seconds here of the 11th round. This fight has flown by. 1 round to go in Las Vegas. Final round, and it's been terrific. Manny Pacquiao, Timothy Bradley. These have been very difficult rounds to score. All I know is that Timothy Bradley has made a great account of himself, and he's extremely competitive here. Could he be on the verge of an upset? It's possible. Could we just be on the verge of another great Pacquiao effort, and he gets the win? That's possible as well.
What we know for sure is Bradley can hold his head up high. He fought with a lot of courage, showed a lot of heart, and people are going to respect this performance. He came here to win.
And look, win or lose, he's in the mix, and the mix includes Pacquiao rematch that he was trumpeting. Of course, he would figure that he would have won to have to get that, or possibly Mayweather. Mayweather in jail right now, but he gets out in 3 months. Who knows? But he's in the mix for big fights, there's no question. This fight is definitely in question. You wonder if Pacquiao is going to try to close the show, if he'll try to do something superhuman.
I was just going to lead to that. Pacquiao would be nice if he picked up a little of the activity, try to finish strong, not to leave any doubts.
I think they just used most of their ammo in the first 6 rounds, Mario. I think that they exhausted each other. Good work by Bradley inside. And more from Bradley.
Bradley caught him with a good hard shot there.
They told Timothy Bradley in his corner, this is the most important round of the fight.
Important round of his life.
Look, I'm not someone who believes that you need to knock out the champ to take his title. I think you win it on rounds. If you win, you win.
I agree 100%. If you cross that finish line, once you cross the race, whether it's by an inch or by a mile, a win's a win.
Final minute of the fight. Let's see if either fighter can put the accelerator down to the floor. They jump into each other there awkwardly. Boy, the crowd, you can hear the buzz. They're waiting for something big, and Bradley with a good answer. It was Bradley who's catching Pacquiao.
Bradley really got reinvigorated the second half of this, or I should say the last 20% of the fight, last couple of rounds.
He's been fighting very smart the last 3 rounds.
It's like he caught a second win.
Yeah, now he's jumped. He's given it everything he has. He's worked his whole life for this moment to fight the best fighter in the world.
30 seconds left.
He's been right there every single round. No matter how it's judged, he's done something terrific here tonight. The crowd going for Manny Pacquiao. The chance going up. Final seconds. Pacquiao jumps in with a straight left, tries to go with the lead left hand. You know what? I'd like to see 3 more rounds.
That was a great fight.
That was a terrific fight. Both guys came out full energy, full throttle, went after each other. Go back to prior action. Big shot landed there by Pacquiao. Pacquiao was effective. Look, the only man that was actually hurt tonight in this fight was Bradley, as Mario Lopez pointed out. To see Mark Wahlberg, the film star, with an aghast look on his face at the action and thrilled to see what he was seeing. Mario Lopez mentioned, who would you rather be at the end of that round? A lot of those rounds you would rather have been Manny Pacquiao. But scoring the fight is supposed to be very different. He had to bring his A game. Manny Pacquiao coming off another struggle with Juan Manuel Marquez, steps up to the plate. High risk, low reward in fighting an undefeated junior welterweight champion in Timothy Bradley.
Jerry Roth scores about 115-113 for Pacquiao. CJ Roth scores it 115-113 for Bradley. And Dwayne Ford scores it 115-113 to the winner by split decision. And new WBO welterweight champion of the world, the Desert Storm, Timothy
He did it. He absolutely did it. And don't be shocked. 7-5 was the score on all 3 judges' cards. I can't argue with any one of the 3 cards. They had it 7-5. 2 of them, Dwayne Ford and C.J. Ross, had it 7-5, Timothy Bradley. And there were rounds there that Manny Pacquiao took off. His first loss since 2005. He's been in close fights before. A majority decision against Juan Manuel Marquez last time out, but this time he was absolutely tested. His wife, Jinky, dismayed, obviously. But you know what? That was won fair and square in the ring. Timothy Bradley, at the news conference, held up a big ticket. A ticket for the rematch, Pacquiao-Bradley. Well, you know what? If Pacquiao wants it, now he can get it.
Okay, fellas, trunks are good on both sides. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I'm going to protect you, but you have to protect yourself at all times and keep this fight clean at all times. And remember what I say, you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
All right, so we're set to go. Kenny Bayless is the referee. Third man in the ring, Nevada Boxing Hall of Famer. Glenn Trowbridge, Michael Pernick, and Craig Metcalf are the three judges. Metcalf is from Canada, Pernick from Florida, and Trowbridge from Nevada. We're set to go.
You know, outside the ring, Bradley walks around at 175 pounds, so he's the naturally bigger guy. But Pacquiao, with his quickness, seems to be much more powerful with his punches.
That's heavy, Larry, to come all the way down to welterweight. Wow.
And he is in magnificent physical condition, as you can tell by the cut body as both men are, as you would expect these consummate professionals to be. Six-time world champion Manny Pacquiao finally
right
touches
hand.
Bradley, and Bradley right back with a body shot.
Manny already letting a couple big punches go. Bradley in his camouflage and green gloves, ready for war.
A lot of posturing here in the early going. Bradley quick with that uppercut, blocked mostly on the gloves by Manny Pacquiao. Powering with the left hand. Manny tries to get his jab through there, but it's to no avail.
Bradley returned to his natural style after Provodnikov and beating Marquez. And his natural style is this. Quick movement. There's a kind of dynamic body language he surveys.
One would think Bradley would take a page out of the Marquez book and be a strict counterpuncher, since clearly that boded well for him. And he's a versatile guy. Bradley can do many things in that.
He can, but that isn't his mindset for this thing. He really wants to try and score a knockout, make it definitive. And in this round, I mean, we're coming up to the closing minute of the first round. Who's won this round?
Another close, tough round to score, guys.
And there's going to be a lot of these, and it only makes one difference. One round difference, and you get a situation. And that's the way I expect this to be. This is going to be controversial if it goes to the scorecards again. Not a lot separating him. Every time Pacquiao even taps Tim Bradley, the crowd gets into it. So don't be fooled by that.
The judges are human, so that has to play into some
And
favor.
it does. It's a subliminal thing that judges have to deal with. And don't forget, there's pressure on them too from the first fight to get this right. Am I hearing Bradley?
That's Manny.
Oh, all right. I was shocked. Now you tell me you won that round. Because I can't tell you. All right, here we go. This is round number 2.
Well, Bradley's punching with bad intentions here.
Yes, he is, and that's what he said he would do. Try to mix it up with this guy, which some people thought would be a mistake. Nice defense. That was an off-balance sort of situation for Timothy Bradley. I don't know if you guys have seen it. I see what appears to be more intensity of Tim, and Tim just slipped on that Takati sign.
I agree with you, Colonel. He does come out. He has come out more intense, and I haven't seen him throw such hard shots before, at least initially in fights before.
Well, this needs to be brought up sometime. We all learned after that fight that he had fought without socks. Because he thought it would help him, because that's how Mike Tyson fought. He thought he needed something extra to fight Manny Pacquiao, and he himself has said, well, he had never been in a big fight before, and that was a mistake he made. And he wound up with 2 bad feet, legs, had to be wheeled out to the press conference. But he's been through it now.
Well, I don't know if that was so much a case of the socks, nice big shot landed by Pacquiao, or the fact that Pacquiao's footwork keeps you off balance all night, just like that, which I think was more of the reality of it. Big looping right hand that Bradley just landed on Pacquiao, too. Big round for Pacquiao so far.
Pacquiao landing some decent shots here. Tim hangs on to him on the inside now. Now Kenny Bayless has to separate the two. Crowd doesn't like anytime Bayless does anything. They don't want anything but a fight here. Bradley clips him with the left hand, nails him with the right hand.
Well, Bradley is doing his fight against Provodnikov right here.
And this is not bode well for Bradley theoretically. But he's having some success as well.
We were looking for the Marquez Bradley, and the Provodnikov Bradley shows up.
And thank God.
Which certainly is going to make for a more thrilling adventure. We'll see how the fight goes.
Well, it's an adventure so far, Larry, that's for sure. Pacquiao in the white trunks facing you, Timothy with his back to you.
And if Bradley continues to fight like this, not only are we in for a treat, but this fight, either way, could end in very much a knockout, which I did not think was possible tonight.
In the closing seconds, are those two big punches that Pacquiao landed going to be enough to win this round for him? And I think the answer to that is yes.
And I thought it landed a couple more than just two.
Very even first two rounds. We think that probably Pacquiao got the second round on the judges' score sheet. This is round 3. Same with the jabs. Manny making a miss. Caught him with a decent right hand. There's a lot of advertising on the canvas, and this time of the night, the last fight of the night, it gets wet. And it's a little slippery out there in some spots.
Well, we had some ice previously and that down there, and I don't know if they got it away in that quick enough, but it definitely possibly could have melted, and it's been a lot of sweat there throughout tonight.
Well, it doesn't look like there's a lot of compassion in Manny Pacquiao here tonight.
Not by those big left hands, Larry.
His hair looks like it's angry.
Well, he's landed 3, 4, 5 in a row here.
Big left hands.
It's a nice round for Manny Pacquiao.
And there goes the footwork that caused, I believe, those foot problems earlier for Bradley.
Manny just dominated that last about 30, 40 seconds. Bradley tries to hang on and whack him.
Manny slapping his gloves together as old, wanted to fight.
And Bradley starts to wing some shots. Manny hangs on him, and Kenny Bayless does his job. Winging shot again by Tim. Misses again. In the meantime, Pacquiao whacked him with a body shot.
And Bradley's coming back smartly here. Lands a right hand on the way in.
Also taking a lot at the same time.
Yeah, he's throwing caution to the wind for sure. He's willing to risk it all here.
Landed a couple big body shots on Manny, but Manny still landing a couple back on his own.
Talk about intensity. How about this?
This is a fight, gentlemen. This is what we want to see.
Crowd in attendance absolutely loves it wherever you're watching around the world.
Well,
I know you're going to love it.
Bradley said he would be going for a knockout. Nobody believed him because of his knockout record, which is relatively low. But he's going to do damage.
Hard body shot, uppercut. And Manny right back. And all that, Manny lands one shot. He's missing it out there, too. Bradley moving that head back and forth. Good defense.
Going to the body, Manny.
Boy, Pacquiao having a terrific round for him.
Last two rounds have been solid for Pacquiao, landing big shots on Bradley. Bradley landed a couple solid body shots on his own. He continues to work the body, which is a great game plan.
Nice last few seconds for Tim, but not enough. All right, we get ready to go to round number 4 here. The MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas, Nevada. That's Manny Pacquiao in the white. Tim Bradley in the camouflage trunks, and Tim picks it up right away.
Well, is Bradley taking the bet that Manny can't go 12 hard rounds, and that he can, because he just keeps coming forward.
Well, Larry, like we mentioned earlier, he feels like he's got something to prove, even though really he doesn't, based on the Providnikov and Marquez fights. But
well, there are some fighters who always think every time they have something to prove. Marvin Hagler was that way.
And that's what made him great?
Yeah. They had to earn their popularity over a long haul, and they just had to go out there and do it every time.
And that chip on their shoulder is what keeps them long. And that was a big looping right hand that Pacquiao just took, and he took it well. Walking out, backing up with his head straight up, how he got caught with Marquez when he was first knocked down in their last fight.
Round 4, Timothy Bradley trying to pick up the pace here. This is much more even than the last round was. Him trying to keep pressure on Pacquiao constantly. Pacquiao waits, gets off that left-hand lead for him, the southpaw. Touches up, Bradley slowed down just a bit for the moment. More than halfway through this, the 4th round. And still very much up for grabs. Tim lands him. Nice straight right hand. Another one. You might have staggered him.
Well, that's Pacquiao backing up, and Pacquiao's not used to being the counterpuncher. And that's how he got caught with Marquez, and Marquez was aggressive in their last fight the first time with his head back up.
I don't think Manny's legs are 100% right now.
No, I agree with you. He's backing up with his head straight up, and Bradley can sense it.
And at no time during the Pacquiao assault on Bradley was Bradley hurt, but I really think that Manny felt that.
And good body shots by Pacquiao.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it by what he's doing right now, but he was starched with that one shot by Tim Bradley.
But I think he's won the rest of the round rather clearly, so how do you score it?
I don't know.
Well, we still got 30 seconds left, so let's see.
Some guys say damage done, and if that's the case,
yep,
Tim's done enough. If not, then Manny's won the round. And that's why this is so tough for the judges. Loading up the shots is Tim again. Misses with the left, catches him with the right hand.
Well, having hurt Manny once, why wouldn't he think he could do it again?
No, I think he thinks he can, Larry. We're in the closing seconds. Who wants it now? See if anybody can get a final assault going here. To make it definitive, Tim tries it. Really winging hard shots. We're going to the 5th round here.
Manny used to never get caught with those overhand rights, backing out with his head straight up. I don't know if that's a sign of age or fatigue or...
It's a sign of age because, you know, guys that don't get hit early. And one great fight that comes to mind is Muhammad Ali. You know, in his early career, he never got hit. And later in his career, he got hit a lot.
Sure, like a Roy Jones, guys who rely on the reflexes, of course.
People thought that was more impressive than it was. Some nice low defense, a la Pernell Whitaker style that time for Timothy, which shows strength in his legs. Tries to counter Manny, Manny got the glove up there to hurry off most of that. Pacquiao seems to have more intensity in this round now. Tim still hunting him down, Manny up on his toes, bouncing around, gets off the straight left hand.
Bradley's really done a good job of concentrating on the back, on the body.
Light left hook upstairs, no damage done with that whatsoever. All right, there it is. Manny, the trench goes up.
Stop!
We see some compassion there. Did he tap him on the shoulder, Larry?
No, I just think that was sportsmanship on both their parts. Nothing much happened.
And a nice chance to get a little breather quickly.
Yeah, and looks like Bradley was trying to take a little breather here and just box him now in this round.
Well, they can't go all out 100% of the time.
Bradley's exerted a lot
Just
of
as I
energy
said,
here.
right?
Tim landed a right hand shot that time. Didn't seemingly taking effect on Manny. Another solid right hand. Now with 50 seconds left in this round, another one of those situations where it's very close. This is still anybody's round.
I haven't often seen Manny backing up like this.
And it usually doesn't bode well for him. Maybe those body shots have slowed him down, because he was really effective in the second round when he was being the aggressor and letting his hands go.
16, 15, 14 seconds to go in this round. Bradley trying to make him look bad. That doesn't help you with the judges. So I've got a dead even, 48-48.
So do I. 3 rounds apiece. And I think more so from a psychological point of view, Bradley feels he needs an emphatic win, a clear-cut victory in the eyes of the public.
Well, in the eyes of the public, both guys need a clear-cut victory because otherwise, are we going to see a third one?
Well, you know, we're interestingly in the position that Marquez was after losing close fights to Manny, and Manny has lost a close fight to Bradley, and he's trying to even the score or better the score. But Manny is 35 years old. Bradley is 30 and the peak of his career.
The absolute peak of his career, right, Larry? Moving well as Tim, but nobody doing much offensively for the first minute of this round. And Manny finally opens up, lands a few shots.
And Bradley's used to the big stage now. His confidence is at an all-time high. He's been champion.
Pacquiao's lived on that stage for quite some time now. It's still new for Tim, but certainly in his last 3 fights have been huge stages.
It's amazing to me that he's still fighting at this level for so long, these lighter weight classes.
Although a combination by Manny Pacquiao missed, that one landed. Now he gets through with that one. Tim wings that right hand, and as you saw, whistled it past the shoulder of Bradley, of Pacquiao.
Manny boxing a lot better this round.
Boxing well, but you're not landing a lot, Mario.
Not landing anything really, really effective, you're right.
And that was one of the things that Judge Dwayne Ford from the first fight told me. He said, no, Manny threw a lot of punches, but he missed a lot of punches, too. Especially in the second half of the fight.
But he was the busier fighter, and I think that's going to be key here. We need to see who the busier fighter is in these rounds. The looping punch that Bradley's had success with tonight.
Well, if somebody can land something big here in the last 30 seconds, they can still win this round. Either guy. Now you notice Timothy Bradley backing up. Sort of inviting Manny Pacquiao to come in, trying to counter him.
And Pacquiao should take advantage of this.
And he tries to. You know, all of that stuff, he didn't land a lot of shots.
And I don't know why he doesn't go to the body, because he does that.
But you know what? On aggressiveness, I'm not saying he won the round, but I think the judges are going to give that round to Pacquiao. All right, here we go, round number 7. Don't forget I had the even round, so that's the difference. Tim starts off the 7th round with an urgency here.
Pretty much how he started off the last couple rounds. And Pacquiao answer, though.
Well, one of the things the punter said that, you know, Pacquiao's got to fight the full 3 minutes of every round.
Every fighter does.
Well, that's for sure. But I mean,
what I'm saying is, Manny, I'm saying in Manny is, you know, he's reinvented himself several times as a fighter for particular fights or particular times in his career. He's boxing him more.
You're right, Larry, and that's a good
This is more
observation.
Rios, and with trying to do some damage off of it. And so let's see how Bradley deals with it.
And Bradley just got whacked with a pretty good left hook.
Really good left hook, and he took it well.
Tim seems to want to show how good he is defensively as he works, and he's very proud of himself.
Yeah, but, you know, this kind of upper body
Exaggerated movement is tiring, too.
You know, I don't know what it really accomplishes.
Well, I think his objective is, see, he can't hit me. But he's not scoring either, and I think he's just exerting more energy than he needs to.
I mean, it looks beautiful defensively, but you don't score points.
No, I don't count defense if you don't play an offense with it.
I agree.
I agree, Larry. A very good point.
And that kind of defense is just defense.
For defense sake.
And Bradley is just trying to wing hard shots and hoping to land the big shot. He's not boxing his way in. He's not putting himself in the position.
Pacquiao looking really strong in this round. And first time we've seen Bradley hug tonight. This could be a sign of those big shots and exaggerated movies coming into effect. And let's see if, and he feinted just like Freddie Roach asked him to.
And a little staggering their legs is Tim Bradley. Loads up again the right hand, trying to invite Manny in.
And those feints are working, and he listens to Freddie Roach in the corner with the feints, and Bradley inviting him in. Pacquiao continuing.
Why do we think Bradley's doing this?
I think he wants to prove that he's a tough guy, and meanwhile, he's eating some big shots and losing this round in a big way, Larry.
You know, hey, just beat Bradley to win the fight. It shows that he's not sure of himself.
Or the intensity that Manny talked about all week. He's got to keep it right here because he's doing well right now. This is round number 8. As you know, it's scheduled for 12.
And Bradley coming out, swinging hard punches, focusing on Pacquiao's midsection. And to Larry's point, Manny doing a good job of boxing and picking his spots to be aggressive in spurts, which at 35 is a smart play.
And Bradley letting him get away with it.
And Bradley backing off now, where in the rounds that Bradley fought well, he was much more the aggressor. He's catching punches again, powering with his left hand instead of driving up the back foot. Of course, what he's trying to do is get himself in position to wing that right hand again, hoping he can catch Pacquiao.
You might see some welts on the right cheekbone of Bradley. Look, nothing to be concerned about, but it shows he has been getting hit by that left hand.
And he sets up right in front of him. Watch for the winging right hand of Tim Bradley, because that's how he thinks he can win this fight. He's not boxing the guy. He wants to out slugging.
I don't think at this level of the game that you can beat quality fighters just by winging and hoping. You got to break a guy down. You got to set things up.
And that's more or less what Manny Pacquiao is trying to do, and doing a decent job of it. It looks to me from some of the gestures of Tim that if he were to win the fight, he wants to show this guy up, and he's not doing it.
No,
Well, much has been made about Bradley being a runner in the first fight, and him not manning up, if you will, and wanting to exchange with him. So I think he's trying to prove he's a tough guy and that he can go toe-to-toe with Pacquiao.
but he's not doing it. Or Pacquiao's not letting him do it if he wants to do it. Look at that. What is that?
It's not effective is what it is.
And again, Bradley appears to be very proud of himself, but he hasn't landed anything. He's not going to win this round.
And if I'm a judge, I'm not impressed by those shenanigans.
Well, no, that can hurt you badly.
And those little rabbit punches can't help either.
20 seconds ago, Tim gets a light left hook in there. Closing seconds of the 8th.
Looks like a first round few out now.
Pacquiao didn't really have much of a spurt there. Let's see if he closes out. But it's still enough for me to win the round.
All right, here we go. Round number 9 in Jim Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pacquiao, Bradley. Nobody's been down. Both guys have been kind of shaken on different occasions, but more recently, Tim Bradley. Pacquiao doing an excellent job of boxing this guy, as Larry pointed out, the same way he did against Rios, who just cruised to victory there. Bradley wants to land the big blow. He throws the right hand.
Bradley's still winging punches, and
You know, it just strikes me that Manny Pacquiao is a fundamentally more sound fighter. He's not trying to win on his athleticism, as Bradley often seems to do. And that's why he falls. He falls off balance.
sure. And that's how he hurts his feet. Not because of socks or lack thereof, because he's off balance. Pacquiao keeps him moving, and that's how you sprain an ankle or you dislocate feet, whatever the case was. In that particular occasion, I believe he stepped on his foot.
Now Pacquiao on the assault as he comes forward, trying to land shots on Tim. Tim walks him back, and he has to separate them. But it's all Bradley on the offense here now. He caught Bradley, so it's all
Big shot by Pacquiao.
Pacquiao loading up here. Look at this flurry. Tim again throws a winging shot.
The difference is that Bradley is winging his shots. Pacquiao is shooting his shots.
And that was quite the flurry, and those hands are still fast at 35 with 5-6 punch combinations. Quite impressive to see.
With a minute to go in this round, and with Pacquiao controlling it, he looks terrific.
Terrific. One of Pacquiao's best rounds.
But Tim, even in all of that hurricane that was on top of him, he still went back to winging one big shot. And it does get him off balance, in spite of the fact he was stepped on, as we'll show you in between rounds, and had him falling into the ropes.
I feel because Tim had some success early around winging the shots. He actually caught him with a big looping right. He's now banking on it as opposed to maybe setting it up or letting him fall into something.
Well, you know, like Larry went back to Mario, he's not trying to break this guy down. He's hoping to catch him with a big shot. And you know, Pacquiao's really, really a good boxer. Because he was caught once by one Manuel Marquez doesn't mean he can be caught again.
Exactly. It's something special.
Yeah, he is emotional. That's a very good observation.
He seems a little worried. He's coming out aggressive as he has every round.
He needs to be aggressive for the full 3 minutes, and he needs to land something big now. That's what he's wanted to do the whole fight. And if he doesn't do it, he's not going to win the fight.
Now this is where Pacquiao, in the last fight, a lot of people accused him of fading and Bradley's punch output.
Well, in the last fight, I thought that Bradley started to box him more in the late rounds, and that's when he did better. Or maybe got credit for some of those rounds because he was doing better than he had earlier.
And this is, I've never seen Bradley, I don't know if sloppy is the word, Larry, but not as poised, let's say.
Yeah, you know, you use the word poised. Larry said emotional, and I think they both, that's the situation. Like, this guy is really emotional in this fight. And the other guy's such a terrific boxer. You can't get away with it with Manny Pacquiao.
And with all the attention and the focus and the people and the hoopla, Manny remains composed and doesn't let the atmosphere really get to him.
Well, just remember that, you know, he fought Morales 3 times, Barrera twice, De La Hoya, Hatton, Marquez 4 times.
God, those were wars too.
You know, He's been at this rodeo before.
Oh, and it was a beautiful straight left right on the jaw of Bradley, and he took it well, and another one.
Missing shots. Look at those timing shots by Manny Pacquiao. Straight left hand. That's his power shot. Caught Tim again. Things aren't working for Tim Bradley right now at all.
Another big
straight left hand right through. That's the way a southpaw fights the right-handed fighter. The straight left hand down the middle. Bradley tries to come off the ropes.
Bradley trying to counter over the left, looking for the left and trying to do something off of it. One of the reasons that Manny hasn't had knockouts in recent fights is that fighters have started to try to looking for that left and daring him to beat him some other way.
Manny having a lot of success with that left hand tonight.
Bradley taps him with the light left. I don't think that's going to get you to win the round with 17 seconds to go. Tim clocked him with that one.
And whether by design or not, Manny has been closing most of the rounds better than Bradley, and that somewhere along the way counts.
Now, his legs just don't look real solid to me tonight.
I agree.
And I go back to the Provednikov fight and wonder how much that style that he fought him took out of him. You can win a fight, and it can take so much out of you. And to me, Tim's legs don't look, I mean, they just don't look really good right now to me.
Well, you know, they look pretty good against Marquez.
Yeah, they did.
Pacquiao now stalking, being a little more aggressive. Big left hands, big shots against Bradley. Bradley hugging, holding on.
You think it's fair to say that Bradley woke up a sleeping champion when he said he no longer had the hunger and the drive and the fire to win?
Well, he certainly looks like he's got it tonight.
There's no lack of compassion. Sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for.
Bradley pawing with that jab as he backs off. That's not his style.
Well, to those people who thought Pacquiao clearly won the first fight, this is, we told you so far.
Much more action-packed and not as tough to decide as we thought it might be, at least thus far. Bradley completely on his bicycle now.
I don't want to put that monkey wrench in anything, guys, but I've been informed by a producer that the network in the United States has Bradley ahead in the fight.
Really?
Not Harold Letterman, by the way, but I'm not quite sure who. But that's what they tell me in my ear. I don't believe it. I'm going to go with what we have going on.
Yeah, I trust our judgment in the eyes
of the Lord.
Of the Lord. My head. Claire, your thoughts on the Colonel's comments?
Well, I have an old saying that I say to myself, trust your eyes. And
I'm going to trust your eyes, too.
This is a better round for Bradley because he's boxing him more. This is what his strength has always been, not trying to make things happen all at once.
But for as many times as Tim has caught Manny's caught him. So, I mean, I don't know, Larry. It's tough. But I trust our eyes, too. I think the Pacquiao's out in front of this fight.
So do I. And yes, he's boxed better in this round, but he still hasn't been as effective.
All right, here we go, the 12th and final round. Now, both guys said if they thought it was close, they'd kind of ears back and let it all fly. Bradley definitely, somebody must have told him you're behind. And look at this, both guys are going after it.
Pacquiao's landing hard left to start the round.
Well, he wants to make it definitive, too.
When the Bradley's corner keeps yelling, we need this round, we need this round, to me that's the suggestion, the indication is they probably need 3 rounds.
There's been a sense of urgency and worry in Bradley's corner since round 7.
Look at these guys going at it here in the 12th round. Both guys have a sense of urgency. They both want it. Who knows where the way the scoring is if they both need it. We don't think so, but there are some that do. Timothy misses his shot. That wild right hand that he's thrown all night has missed more than it's landed. Part of the reason for that is that Pacquiao has his timing off by touching him up with that.
Well, and you know, Bradley wants to make a last effort, but Pacquiao is raking him and finding the holes when he becomes aggressive, and it's just backed off.
Pacquiao has done a wonderful job too of answering every time he has gotten hit, and clearly in this round he's landed the harder shots.
Manny on the assault, now Tim goes after him. They get tied up, and Kenny Bayless tries to get him separated as quick as he can.
Minute to go in the final round.
Both guys said they'd let it go, but they're both very exhausted because the pace has been pretty heavy throughout the course of this fight. Pretty fast. Bradley looks very exhausted to me.
Bradley is ending it as he started it, winging punches and hoping for the best.
And you're right, Larry, that's been the essence of this fight from Bradley.
Well, they're both fighting with a sense of urgency. Bradley, a little bit more intensity, but not landing any more shots.
Well, both of them, neither one of them wants a bad decision.
Nobody wants a bad decision.
Neither one.
Oh, and there's a big cut in the last 30 seconds from Pacquiao.
Time has been called.
Big cut.
Manny's got it by the left eye. Cut.
Oh, and what a buzzkill with the intensity in the last 30 seconds. They managed to go the whole fight without a headbutt. And there was a while there in a stretch where Tim Bradley was known for getting headbutts.
Oh, the reason being that Bradley's coming forward, Pacquiao's answering him,
Here we
and their
are.
heads collided.
Bradley trying to finish him off, but he can't catch him. Manny comes back with a nice combination of his own, and this one's all over.
Craig Metcalf and Michael Pernick score it 116 to 112. Glenn Trowbridge 118 to 110. All 3 judges have it for the winner by unanimous decision from Sarangani Province, Philippines. The new WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny Pacquiao!
Well, there it is.
Wow.
The judges in agreement with us.
Much wider margin.
Well, 2 of the judges had it 116, 112, which is basically what I had.
Right,
116,
basically.
113, you know. But the Glenn Trowbridge had it 118 to 110. So, you know, and again, with some of the close rounds early especially, I've got no dispute with any of the judges here.
No, I thought they did a fine job tonight. I thought that erased any sort of controversy. And I think, I think Bradley, if he's going to be honest with himself and honest with the public in his post-interview, he feels that he was the better man tonight, Manny Pacquiao.
Okay, gentlemen, go proceed your instructions in the dressing room. Okay, look, right here is okay, anything but that's low. Right here is okay, anything but that's low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. Let's go.
Tony Weeks with a final instruction. Again, 10-point must scoring system. No standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. The fighter cannot be saved with the bell in any round. Only the referee can stop the fight. This is fight 3, the legacy fight.
Much has been made. In fact, much of the promotion has been built around the battle of the trainers. Teddy Atlas against Freddie Roach. But those 2 trainers have exited the ring, and so now it's really mano a mano, Bradley and Pacquiao.
Manny Pacquiao in the white with the blue and gold on either side of his trunks, and Tim in white with purple. Tim, of course, has to deal with the fact that Manny's a southpaw, leads with his right hand. Bradley is going to be much more cerebral. In the second fight, all he wanted to do was throw the knockout punch. He never thought he could get a decision. In this one, Teddy has him working to a fight plan that they think that they found some weaknesses in Manny Pacquiao's armor. We'll find out. Nobody's taken command so far.
And we'll also wait to see what kind of power Manny throws his right hand with after having surgery on the shoulder following the Mayweather fight. And he said, you know, I felt good for the first 3 rounds. I thought everything was okay, and then it felt like my arm fell off.
Yeah, said it went completely numb, as if he didn't feel any of the punches from that round forward.
And it was operated on. We all saw the surgical scar in the right shoulder. But everything has been great. This time he did a lot of swimming to give that shoulder a lot of in the ocean. Bradley gets through with just touching the chin that time. Boy, Bradley really looks quick on his feet, doesn't he? And that's all part of Teddy's training. Remember I talked about in the last fight, one thing that stood out was the way he was able to step around against Rios, and he's able to do it in this fight as well.
Well, that'll be interesting because I don't think I've ever seen a fighter who came at you from so many different angles as Manny Pacquiao. I mean, to me, he's one of the most unusual fighters of all time at a championship level because of those crazy angles that he will throw punches from. I've seen him on at least 2 or 3 occasions actually wind up behind his opponent.
Every fighter I've ever talked to in a post-fight interview that has lost to Manny Pacquiao says he just hits you with shots that you cannot see coming. There's no way to prepare. There's no one sparring partner that can emulate what Manny Pacquiao does in the ring. You need about 3 different sparring partners to do what he does. So we'll see how Teddy has Tim prepared.
Well, with 43 seconds to go in this round, not a lot between them, and this is what I expected. There's a lot of close rounds in this fight. Tim gets a little shot to the body as Manny came in.
And we could very well see a lot of these extremely difficult rounds to score.
And this is one of those, and this is exactly what I expected. And there's a lot of these that can be controversy against. Now here comes the bell to end the first round of the fight, and I didn't see anything between the 2 guys. All right, we move to round 2. Colonel Bob Sheridan here, Rich Marotta, Christina Poncher, Manny Pacquiao in there with the gold trim on his trunks, and Tim Bradley with the gold and maroon on his trunks. Red, white, and blue shoes on Manny Pacquiao, as if I need to tell you who's who he is.
Teddy's talked about the log in the ocean. It's been a theme written about many times leading up to this fight, and he did say in that corner to Tim, be the ocean, be the ocean. So perhaps alluding to the fact that he wants him to keep moving around and make Manny stand still, being the log, and maybe Tim being the ocean. But we will know after the fight, right? He'll tell us finally. It won't be a big secret anymore.
Come on, hands free, hands free.
Here's another minute gone, and no difference.
Looked like Manny was saying something in Tim's ear right there and then winked. Oh.
Nice job of Bradley getting off when Pacquiao came in that time. Real chess match, huh, Rich?
Yes, it is, and neither man is able to make something happen yet.
Manny comes in, Tim uses nice defense. He came and tried to get back outside like Teddy asked him to do. Caught him with a shot on the inside.
Cool little trick by Tim Bradley.
Hard body shot by Tim.
Now Tim's starting to fight very effectively.
Uppercut. When Manny pulls out, he's trying to, that's the second time I've seen him execute that uppercut. Well, Bradley having a good second round here. Manny short with his shots because of Bradley's quickness on his feet.
And in case those of you who weren't around for Christina's earlier talk about the odds in this fight, which have come down a little bit. Manny Pacquiao just over a 2-to-1 favorite in this fight, but they're pretty close.
And that's a lot to do with the fact that there's a huge Filipino contingency here that lives in Las Vegas. But in reality, this fight is a lot closer than that.
Now Manny's starting to get into it here a little.
Landed that one punch. I don't think that's enough to give him the round, though. I think very closely Bradley won that round.
He knows how to coax the best out of a fighter in a corner.
Prides himself on being a teacher.
Right, and he's giving real solid boxing advice right now. That's all he needs. He's not utilizing the other stuff at this point. But if things get desperate, he could go to that.
You know, kind of when you take a look at Teddy and Freddie, it was kind of the way Emmanuel Stewart was with his fighters, as opposed to Angelo Dundee, who would teach and get excited. And Emmanuel was just a cool, calm, collected guy all the time. Then loaded up that left hand. Missed with the right. Manny comes in, catches him. Manny caught him coming in, and Bradley countered him with an uppercut going back out. Yeah, I can see that Teddy wants Bradley to catch him going back out. Not quite in position to do it that time. Tim slipped over there.
He really doesn't want him standing in front of Pacquiao too long, though.
That goes back to what you say. This guy is such an unusual fighter, and he moves, and he can hit you from any angle, and then being a southpaw on top of that makes it very difficult to see everything that Manny's doing. I noticed he shook out his right hand. That's the shoulder that was injured before.
Well, I found it fascinating that Tim Bradley says he feels like he has the cheat sheet to Manny Pacquiao. He said that in several interviews this week. Said it's like you've taken the test and you have all the answers. He's gone 24 rounds. He's watched tape after tape, him and Teddy study, but you know, it's hard to say you can have a cheat sheet to Manny Pacquiao, someone that's so dynamic of a fighter.
You can know what to do, but then be able to execute it on fight night, and that's what it's all about. And for Tim, it's just concentration. But this is a different Timothy Bradley than we saw in the second fight, where he was all about trying to land the big power shot. He's really boxing very, very well in this fight.
Well, barring no injuries, I think that was the game plan in the second fight. But after he tore his calf, I believe it was the 4th round, he just tried to land that home run shot. So maybe we'll get a healthy 12 rounds out of Tim Bradley in this fight.
See the way he stayed on that shoulder that time, so Manny couldn't hit him. Stayed right in there, kept his chest right on his shoulder. Seems like he may have a cheat sheet to what Manny Pacquiao does. The things that Tim is doing is not by accident.
You know, both fighters are showing some defensive prowess that they're not really known for in this fight. They're making the other guys miss.
I thought the first round was too close to call. I thought Manny won the second round. Third round, very, very close, and Timothy got that one.
Bradley felt that one of his big advantages for this fight was not blowing up between fights, that he actually came to camp at only 165 pounds, which is far less than when he normally starts. So he didn't have to run that much. He didn't have to do so much work on just losing weight like he normally was. And he was able to concentrate on the finer points and the nuances of fighting a Manny Pacquiao.
You folks just take a look at the bodies of both of these fighters, and you know that they came here ready to fight. Tim trying to pressure Manny a little bit more here. Makes him miss. Tim landed the jab, and there's a counter punch by Manny. Those two punches blocked by Timothy Bradley. He gets the right hand through. Manny gets right back. Lands a shot.
And Manny wants to press the action. I mean, he talked about it this week about having something to prove and wanting to put on a good show for the fans. He knows that the fans were disappointed after the result of his last fight. So I look for him to pick up the intensity as this fight goes on.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the result, but the fact that the fight really never materialized against Mayweather.
This is already a better fight because, you know, Mayweather fights that way, and it's his way of winning. But Bradley's come here to fight, to box, and so is Manny. I think Manny's having his best round of the fight so far here in the 4th round.
You see it when he starts those flurries too, Manny, and he starts jumping up and down almost, and he's on the balls of his feet, right in front, moving forward. And that's when he starts with those flurries.
That's his adrenaline flow, Rich, as you well know. Bradley continues to feint from the outside. Caught Manny coming in with the right hand.
He wants to counter so bad. I'm sure he's watched that Marquez tape a couple times.
On him again.
These guys are this close to landing the big one.
And then he landed that one. See, this is something else.
I think Pacquiao's having a very good round here.
I do too.
And I think Tim might get an earful when he gets back to his corner.
You think? Definitely the clearest round to score, I think, so far of the fight.
You didn't get to see it, but we saw it. A lot of animation from Teddy Atlas with Timothy Bradley. Here we go, round number 5. The Colonel Bob Sheridan, Rich Marotta, Christina Poncha, Manny Pacquiao. He's got the gold on one side of his trunks. White trunks with the gold up top. Tim has got the purple and primarily white trunks. Desert Storm in the front of his trunks. Bradley's got the white gloves. Manny Pacquiao's got the red gloves. In case you've been under a boxing rock someplace, you don't know these guys. You know them now, anyway. Bradley jumping in there, ignited a little bit by what Teddy had to say. Manny gets a straight left hand through, which is a power shot to southpaw. Flipped him on the way out that time. Manny's in second gear now. Bradley trying to time a right hand to get him coming in for that left hand now. Missed it. And you hear the crowd's reaction. They like what they see. We got a fight now.
Yeah, Bradley tried to use a chopping right at that time.
Windmill with that one. Short with a jab, continuing to circle around to his left of both fighters. Tim gets set, nothing landed then. Good defense by Manny Pacquiao.
But Tim's got to keep throwing like that if he's trying to outpoint Manny Pacquiao. He can't always let Manny be first in the exchanges.
And Teddy doesn't want to let him be first at all.
So Manny hasn't done a lot in this round. Offensively, he's been following Tim around.
Tim caught him with an uppercut coming in. A little bit of an exchange there. Who gets the best of it? Nobody really.
I think Bradley's having much the better of
He
himself
is.
in this round.
I do. I agree with you. People chanting Bradley. Blocks those punches from Manny. Catches him with a right hand. Catches him with another right hand. Manny threw a lot of punches, but nothing landed. Crowd really into it now.
It's starting to get emotional in here.
Yeah. This is really good stuff now.
He caught Bradley clear.
Pacquiao got him that time, that straight left. That was a little of the old Manny.
Yeah, and that's his power shot. But I still don't think that straight left hand is enough to get Manny Pacquiao this round. He catches him with the uppercut. So that makes it a close round at the end.
That was a good round.
That was a terrific round.
Well, I would give that round to Tim Bradley.
I would too, but I think the judges could be split on it.
Yeah.
And there's so much emotion in here.
And Go ahead, Rich.
That you know, the fans can have a big influence here, and the bigger fan contingent is with Pacquiao.
Although there was a chant in that last round for Bradley as well. So, you know, there is, we got all of that to consider. What's going through the minds of Dave Moretti, Bert Clements, and Steve Weisfeld. This is round 6, scheduled for 12. WBO Welterweight International Championship on the line. Not a world title, but you wouldn't know it from the reaction of the crowd.
I think win or lose tonight, really Pacquiao just really wants to have a great performance and an exciting fight. He doesn't want the last memory of him in the ring to be that Mayweather performance.
That's for sure.
Well, he's already beyond that right now. Still, the chess match continues. Feigning. Halfway through this round, and there's no clear winner to this point in this round.
Well, I was saying all week that I thought that this third fight would be the best fight. And that doesn't mean it's because it's going to have the most action, but it's been the most even fight through 6 of the 3 so far.
I'll never forget the first time I saw Manny Pacquiao was right in this ring in a fight that very few people expected him to win against a guy by the name of Ledwaba, Lelo Ledwaba, who was a world champion and was considered kind of a beast at the time. And I remember that day, this was over a decade ago, seeing Freddie Roach and saying, hey, you might want to keep an eye on this kid I've got going tonight, Manny Pacquiao. He's pretty good. I think you'll like him. And I kind of laughed it off because I thought Ledwaba was fantastic and would easily beat Manny Pacquiao. But that was the beginning of a long, fantastic journey for Manny Pacquiao here in championship fights in America and here in Las Vegas in particular.
Well, the first Pacquiao fight I did, I couldn't even pronounce his name. nobody had heard of him. And Bruce McTavish, the Hall of Fame referee from the Philippines, called me and said, hey, Colonel, learn to pronounce his name. He's going to be around. But I just wanted you to know that it's headed towards that situation that could be something if the fight continues this way as we start the second half of the fight. Nobody has taken command. I get Bradley slightly out in front, maybe. That helps you.
Well, and everything that Pacquiao does, the crowd goes crazy. You know, even if they don't land, and you know, the judges here have to hear that too. So you just hope that they are completely tuned out to the crowd and just zoned in on what's happening, because we're talking, we're looking at our notes, we're looking back, and we don't see everything that they should see, and we still have it so close.
The American Network, by the way, has Pacquiao out in front by 59-55, so that'll give you an idea how that would mean that they've given the first and the 6th round to Pacquiao. Those are 2 rounds I couldn't make up my mind on. Match continues through a minute 30 seconds of this round. It lands a flipping left hand. Manny trying to get that straight right hand down the middle, and especially the straight left hand. That's his power shot. Bradley doubles with a jab, then comes inside. Nothing big lands. Manny touches the chin.
A good jab landed by Pacquiao. I don't think he's jabbed real well tonight. fight taking place here, obviously, in early April as compared to previous Pacquiao fights at this time of the year were always in May, but he's running for the Senate, and the election is May the 9th. I think he's kind of hoping of getting a win here tonight, Colonel, and hoping that might mean a few votes for him.
Well, I know that that's why you want to have the fight with plenty of time to go back and campaign, but right now he's got all the campaigning in hand. Bradley get hit, and referee...
It's a knockdown.
Is it a knockdown? Yes! He's counting it as a knockdown. There was a punch in the end of it, so Tony Weeks got it right. And that changes things in a hurry on the score sheet. It wasn't a big shot, but it was enough to get Tim Bradley off balance. And it's a 10-8 round for Pacquiao. Listen to the crowd.
I believe that's the first knockdown in the 3 fights with these two guys.
It was right above us.
Right at the end of the round, you see that little left hand right, was it behind the ear when that last punch?
See it again here now.
He lands that right,
and the
just
right
behind
hand,
the ear, yeah.
And then he pushed him, he was kind of off balance, he pushed him down, and Tony, as the...
there is the punch, there is the punch there. Here it comes, right there, that
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Although it didn't look like Bradley was hurt by the punch, his gloves touched the canvas. No. That has to be considered a knockdown.
Yeah, and I think he knew that because he didn't argue the point.
Tony Weeks as a referee doesn't make many mistakes, I'll tell you that. He's right on top of it. Oh, it was a knockdown for the reasons both Christine and Rich, of course, mentioned to you. Concentrate so much here in this fight. Pacquiao doing a nice job now countering this guy.
Now Bradley is in a position where he's likely behind in this fight. And you just wonder if that's going to play with his mind at all as well.
Even with the close rounds in the fight, I've got Pacquiao ahead in the fight now. Him trying to pressure a little bit more. Digs underneath that elbow of Manny Pacquiao to the left side of his body.
Pacquiao was swinging with a home run punch there.
Manny looks a lot more confident now after that knockdown, because he knows he picked up an extra point there. And besides, at that point in that round, there wasn't a lot separating in that round either. Chin lands, caught him pretty good and put Manny back in his heels. Manny forcing the fight right now. He's coming forward all the time. Tim holds him off with the jab. Pacquiao at 37 years of age, still very quick. Hands and feet.
Yeah, you saw the hand speed right there. Manny, who's had some of the most electrifying hand speed of the last quarter century in boxing. Bradley's digging now.
Yeah, he is.
Those are hard punches.
Really attacking. Really forcing the fight now. I thought Pacquiao was cruising, and now Tim's right back in his round.
Manny's saying something to him, too. I think he likes it. And the fans sure like it.
These guys are the best of friends outside the ring. But there's a lot involved, money-wise and politically, for Manny. Now the cheers go up big time for Manny.
Stop, stop, stop.
Boy, look at that hand speed of Pacquiao.
It was a pretty electrifying 30 seconds there by Bradley.
All right, we move to round number 9 here. The Colonel Bob Sheridan, Rich Parada, Christina Ponce, his Bradley on the assault now. Wants to pick up where he left off in that last minute of that last round.
You know, I think Bradley came in here wanting to box, and that's how he started the fight. He wanted to fight the kind of fight that he fought against Juan Manuel Marquez. The problem is is that nobody comes forward and gives you that kind of aggression that Pacquiao does. So eventually you're forced into a fight. And that's what's happened, and he's kind of answering that.
I get Manny a couple of points out in front unofficially, and we'll see. There's a minute gone, and there's nothing between the two of them here. Two shot punches by Pacquiao. Bradley trying to get more aggressive, landing more power shots. Nice move, sliding to his left, sets up. Wants to land the right hand in the worst way. Goes with the jab. Manny picks it off.
Sometimes you wonder if Tim's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place, because he says, look, I can be the tough guy in the ring, but in this fight I want to be the smartest guy in the ring. But you've got to fight Manny Pacquiao at some point. And he's more than willing to do it.
Couple of decent punches by Tim, and then, oh, he gets dropped again. Gets hit with a left hand, and it knocks Tim back and down. Wow, how about that? Down in the 7th, down in the 9th.
Now will Pacquiao, who told us yesterday, I still have the killer instinct, really unleash it?
Well, he's got to do that now. Pacquiao picked up 4 points in those 2 rounds.
That was like a slow motion knockdown and somersault.
It didn't look like it was that heavy, and Tim somersaulted back. So the momentum, but
we have not seen a knockout from Manny Pacquiao in a long, long time. And the fans are so anxious for that.
This is something else right now. How do you like it, folks? Bradley's been down twice.
Oh, and Tim Bradley is so disappointed, just slapped his side and shrugged, going back. Like, how could that happen to me? Right there you see him working the jab, but he ran into that left at the top of the head. Colonel called it for you early, but then a left hand right in the middle of the face knocked him down. I think that left in the top of the head hurt him originally. Yes. And then that one put him down, a for real knockdown, no question about this one.
That was just like the button on after the first one. Well, you can tell he came back to the corner shaking his head, disappointed, like, I've been here before.
Well, he's got to flat out attack this guy right now. Throw caution to the wind. He's too far behind in the fight right now. I got him at least 4 points behind in the fight with 3 rounds to go. So Bradley.
Yeah, I think Manny's pretty well sealed it as far as this gets to a decision, unless Bradley can score a knockdown himself or 2.
He scores it 2, then we're back to the controversy again. But so far, he hasn't been able to land the big shot to Pacquiao. I've got an 88-84 right now in favor of Pacquiao.
Some of these two guys fought 30 rounds before there was a knockdown between them, and now they've had 2 knockdowns in the last 3 rounds.
Unbelievable. Pacquiao showing just how great he truly is, because Tim Bradley couldn't have been more prepared for this fight. And this Pacquiao with another right hand shot that caught Tim on the inside.
Well, now it's almost like the game plan that Tim had to box in the beginning has to go out the window.
Yeah, of course, but you have to be able to adjust in boxing. And Bradley can do it. The thing that's worrisome is that in his most precarious moments, Bradley, they have come in the late stages of fights against Jesse Vargas, against Ruslan Krivotnikov.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there's no quitting Tim Bradley either. He's got to know he needs a knockdown or two here. There's only a minute to go in the 10th round. And it's not unlike him to just open up.
That's only going to happen if he starts throwing punches. The time is just ticking away.
Manny trots after him.
Instead of really answering back, it looks to me like Bradley is trying to get himself back together in this round. He's taken that tack.
And that may well be, Rich. And that could be just as important. I guess clipped again with a decent left hand. Remember, that left hand that Manny hit you with is his power shot.
That first left hand in the last round that came about 10 seconds before the knockdown landed up high in the head, and that's the one that bothers your equilibrium.
Yeah. Pacquiao outboxing him in this round, and you might be right that Tim just trying to get his head clear.
He wants to land that Juan Manuel Marquez right hand.
He sure does. He even used the word pot shot in the corner.
Here we go, round 11. It's championship time here. Pacquiao comfortably out in front in this fight. At least a 98-93 is what I have it. And it's, don't forget, we had a couple close rounds. If the judges gave those to Pacquiao, and they well could have, it's a lot further apart than that. It's funny, you sit here with all the excitement of this fight, and you just wait for, man, I want to see Bradley do something to make it a little bit more interesting down the wire. Both of these guys very likable.
Bradley a little more active now, throwing out the jab, trying to start things off with a good quick jab of his if he can.
He's got to land the powerful right hand to try to drop Manny, though.
Come on, Bradley.
Even with a knockdown, if our scores were official, he's not back in the fight. Chance broke for Manny. Minute 15 to go in the 11th round.
Well, off of what I've seen so far, and the fight still has 4 minutes, I don't want to see Manny Pacquiao retire.
I don't either, because he looks terrific tonight against just a top condition Tim Bradley.
I mean, why? He's fighting a terrific fight. He's still got much of his skills, speed, and obviously still has some power as well.
Well, his speed is certainly there, both hands and foot speed, so I don't want to see him retire either, but becoming a senator in the Philippines is what's important in his life for the next few months anyway. I'm sure Bob Arum wants him to come back.
Win it for Tim.
No.
I mean, I think he's got to stand there and punch and hope that lightning strikes. He had some very effective moments in that round. We approach what might be the final round of a legendary, one of the all-time greats, Manny Pacquiao.
They almost congratulate each other. You don't see that too often in the boxing ring where they kind of hug each other. They not only touch gloves in the final round, but kind of hug each other. And Tim has got to be very disappointed. And Pacquiao's got to be very, very pleased. This is why he's an 8th division, 10-time world champion.
And sometimes fighters just have your number. And I just think Manny Pacquiao has Tim Bradley's number.
Like Ken Norton always called, caused problems for Muhammad Ali.
No blood.
Okay?
We're in the 12th and final round here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the MGM Grand. Colonel Bob Sheridan here. On with Christina Pontrin, a man Rich Morata.
Bradley landed that good right there. Manny kind of walked into it. Bradley's hoping that's a start of some kind of miraculous comeback here in this last round.
Well, he's got about 2 minutes, and that's it. Big left hook misses. All Manny has to do is just jab him out. And that's not his style. He'll finish strong. Something about fighters. Halfway through the final round, and Tim hasn't been able to land any sort of big blow. And it's very difficult because Manny's up on his toes, bouncing around, slides down to the right. Now he knows how to tie him up. There is a desperation for Tim Bradley right now, approaching 1 minute remaining.
I wouldn't be surprised if Freddie Roach told Manny before the round, because they're friends and they respect each other outside the ring. Don't feel sorry for him. I've heard Freddie say that to him in fights. It's your job, Manny, to knock him out.
Goes with that left-hand power shot, doesn't catch Timothy. Tim's got about 50 seconds to try and pull a miracle upset here.
Go for him.
To me, it looks like Tim's mentally checked out already. I've kind of felt that way since the 10th round. And if Manny Pacquiao can try to finish, I'm sure it'll make everybody really happy. At least everybody in the red corner.
25 seconds to go. Tim needs desperation now. It's desperation time. He pounds Pacquiao. He's bent over. Manny sort of celebrates a little bit. Tim stays right on him. Manny stays away 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds. There'll be no knockout. Bradley gets caught between the ropes. Manny comes in. And this is at the last few seconds of Pacquiao's career. If so, he put on a brilliant performance tonight against Tim Bradley.
Once again, we go to the scorecard to determine a winner. All three judges turned in identical scorecards of 116 to 110. For the winner, by way of unanimous decision, and now, the WBO International Welterweight Champion. From the Philippines, Manny Pacquiao.
All three judges had at one point different really than what we had. But all unanimous at 116, 110. Manny Pacquiao the winner.